thanks so much for downloading the episode on the show today. I talk about some of the vivid dreams I've been having lately, and then we segue into some Father's Day discussions, plans, gifts, and terrible dad jokes. So for the Phil Dumpies of the world, we feel you. That and our Ugly and Awkward Moments of the week. Thanks so much.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you, from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie?
Shouldn't they all be miserable if they're no longer with me?
Paula?
Am I your source of entertainment?
Uncensored as always, it's time for the ugly truth.
Welcome to the Ugly Truth. It is episode 283.
My stupid allergies.
As I'm clinging to life.
It's just my throat. I can't get it clear. You should have heard me before we started. I was like, trying everything to get my everything to like clear my olfactory system, and nothing was working.
Not even the neti pot, huh?
Well, I didn't do that.
No one. You know what? It's been strongly suggested, and I just can't. I can't do it. I think if I did, I'd be like, all right, here we go. And I would do it, and I would look up and see myself in the mirror and go, nope. And I would not do it.
You'd like drowned yourself on accident.
I just can't. If I feel like it would not work for me. I know that I'm sure there are people going, no, it works. It totally works. I'm all about the natural options, but I cannot. I'd rather just suck up the Afrin and just deal with the dry nasal passages and the occasional nosebleed. I can't do the neti pot. I'm not doing it. I'm not. I'm not a big fan of putting things in my orifices. I'm just not above that. There's just no winning for me on that one. I'm just going to shut up about it. Anyway, welcome to the Ugly Truth. Welcome back, Paula. Thank you for letting producer Deb sit in. It was just so that, it's Father's Day. He hasn't been on the show. It had nothing to do with you, of course. You were
I know.
Graciously allowing producer Deb to sit in and have his time behind the mic. And it was funny. I just want to tell you, because obviously that show aired on Wednesday last week. And today, when the show drops, it's officially Father's Day. Mm-hmm. But that's one of the reasons why he sat in, because he is the Phil Dumpy of our family. But I wanted to tell you, we actually had to start over.
Oh.
Because he made me mad.
Can you guys never not fight on your shows?
No. And so I'm like, welcome to the Ugly Truth. Sitting in with me today is my husband and our producer Deb. And he apologized like a million, sorry, everyone, sorry. And I'm like, why are you apologizing? And I'm like, are you apologizing that I am married to you? And he's like, I was just trying to be funny. I'm like, stop, pause, cut. So we had to start over. So he was mad when we did the show. So when I'm starting to ask him about Father's Day and stuff, which we'll talk about on this episode a little bit,
right?
He's like, I don't know. I don't care. Whatever. I'm like, all right then. Thanks for listening. I was like, you dick.
Bye.
God. It's, Daryl and I we work really, really well together. We worked together in radio for a long time before, we got married and all of that. And when it comes to business, we're a dynamo. We can do anything together. But when it comes to the creative aspect, he and I we struggle a bit because we're both really strong-minded about what the show needs to sound like. So when he goes, hey, I just wanted to offer you this criticism. I'm like, don't talk to me about how to talk behind this mic. I'm not saying that I've been doing broadcasting for a million years, but I know what I want the show to sound like. And Paula is perfect. So shut up! It's just, it doesn't lead to huge blowouts, but we get very irritated with each other. It's super funny. But anyway, the show ended up going great. And yes, happy Father's Day to all our dads out there. If you're listening to our show, thank you and happy Father's Day. Hopefully you are very actively involved with your children, because that's how you raise good people, is when you have both parents involved, or at least one real good one, right?
Yeah. Hopefully you're getting pancakes with chocolate chips and grapes on them, and scrambled eggs that are still runny and bacon that hasn't been cooked.
Yes. Well, the thing is that dads actually get really great, amazing breakfasts because mom is supervising. Or the other parent is supervising. So, or if you're a single dad and you have your kids for Father's Day, you went to IHOP or Denny's.
Or IHOB.
Dumbest thing ever. And it was funny is somebody posted a picture of their burger on the IHOB day. Yeah. And that bun was covered in grease.
Oh, God.
Just a slick layer of grease. And I'm thinking, well, I mean, isn't that what people want? I mean, is that what they are? Are their pancakes slathered in grease and butter? I don't know. I've been to IHOP once in my life and I hated it. We walked out.
Well, clearly they haven't hired new cooks to cook hamburgers.
They just gave them the instructions. And I'm like, this is what they look like.
They're just like, here, this is what you're making.
Yeah. I was like, oh, burgers. All right, great. We're one up in it. You go to IHOP?
No, not usually, but we've been, a handful of times. Sure. And it's not so bad. I mean, I can't say we've ever gotten pancakes.
Anyway, with all of that being said, I think that dads kind of luck out when it comes to the meal prep because for the most part, they're either off fishing somewhere or they're being fed a very lovely meal that's being supervised by another.
Well, that's good.
Tends to know how to cook, or they're, restaurant or not. But anyway, speaking of not dads, I had a dream the other day. I woke up smiling, which rarely happens.
Wow.
I had a dream that I was at a really busy hotel and there was those hotels and movies where there's 3 or 4 events going on and then you see there's guests everywhere and they're all from different, weddings or whatever. Well, I was in a hotel where there was 2 or 3 big events going on. And I was looking at it was just so busy. And I was just going, wow, there's so many people here. And I feel like we were on vacation or something. Mm-hmm. And there was, that in a movie is the best way to describe it. There's the group of dudes who are a little too old to be acting like frat boys. And they're running around like trying to relive their youth.
Right.
And they're kind of fatter. And they just look sweaty and pale. I saw my ex doing that in my dream. I saw my ex running by me with some friends, and he was so fat.
Oh, God.
And I looked at him, and he didn't see me. And I was just observing, and I'm like, oh, God, he looks like he can barely keep up. And he's got like a cheap beer in his hand, and his shirt is unbuttoned, and he doesn't have the suit jacket on anymore. And it made me so happy to see that. I'm like, God, he looks like he could die any minute.
Wow.
This is awesome. And I woke up smiling. And I'm like, why would I be so happy about that? Like, I never think about it. I never think about my exes ever. And so to see it in my dream was bizarre. It made me happy, though, to know that he wasn't doing well. So maybe that's it.
Wow.
It was really weird.
Maybe you were worrying about it, that maybe he was, somewhere out there being happy.
God forbid. God forbid another human that I interacted with at one point is having joy.
So you're feeling more calm now, knowing that he's probably miserable.
Shouldn't they all be miserable if they're no longer with me? Isn't that the way that works? I thought that's how that worked. That's not it.
Yes, that's exactly how it works.
That's exactly how it works. Anyway, so it was just weird because I haven't had super vivid dreams in the last couple of weeks. I've had 2. Like last week I dreamt that I was surrounded by gorillas.
Gorillas?
Yes, aggressive gorillas.
What
they were
the
running around.
heck?
I don't know. It was very weird. They weren't bothering me, but they were just everywhere. It was very strange. I did not look up what gorillas meant, but I'm assuming it's something aggressive. I would imagine. And then the other day it was my ex looking horrible at a wedding. It was great.
Wow.
A lot going on in my mind lately, so who knows. So as you know, Daryl and I, we took our child and her friend and we rented a house by the beach. I invited you, and as we'll get into it in a little bit, you were, I assume, just celebrating Father's Day early because Victor is off doing military stuff during the actual Father's Day weekend.
Yeah, it was his last weekend at home, which kind of sucked because he had to work anyway. So
oh shit, you could have come.
Well, I mean, yes and no, because he still got home a little bit early, so we didn't want to just leave him and be like, oh, you're dead bait, so we're just gonna cut and run.
Well, I mean, I assume you did something for Father's Day with him.
No, we did.
Okay, good.
We bought him a pair of slippers, and we made a special dinner. And Olivia had made him a card at school while school was still in session. It's cute where, it's like a button-up shirt that opens, and then she wrote like a page-long paragraph why Dad is so awesome and, why she loves him so much. Meanwhile, I got a bookmark when it was Mother's Day, but...
Oh, well, so much effort for a strip of paper. Was it at least laminated?
It was laminated.
Well, there you go. So you'll be able to save it.
But this was, straight from the heart. She got it wasn't a poem or anything like that. It was literally,
from her heart,
outpouring her feelings about why her dad's so great and why she loves him so much. And I'm just like, I never get any of those things. But
well, you know what? When you're the one basically ruling the roost, you're the mean parent, and then there's the Disneyland parent, which is the other one. That's pretty much how that works. And there's always one. You can't have two Disneyland parents because then it's just utter chaos and they're eating candy for dinner. And you can't have two strict parents because then they turn out like you. They're crazy.
It's okay. I know that my son and I are like, we click. And so when we do our weird or craziness or something's funny, he comes and tells me. So
yes,
I think that I'll be the one when he's on television. He'll be, hi, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks for everything. I'd just like to thank Mom and my Lord Jesus, but my mom mostly.
So do you want to know what it means to see a gorilla in your dream?
Yes, tell me. Oh, did you look it up? What did it say?
I did, just quickly. To see a gorilla in your dreams suggests that you may be too over the top in your behavior. Perhaps you are compensating for your rigidity and stiffness in your waking life. Alternatively, the gorilla symbolizes your primitive impulses, wild nature, and repressed sexual energy.
Well, Daryl has had a really, really bad sunburn, and it's been like a week. So maybe that's it.
Maybe that's why you saw so many aggressive gorillas running around you.
Because I need to get laid.
Daryl is a gorilla.
Oh, God, no.
He's not the gorilla.
No, he is the gorilla, but I just mean, No, you know what? You're right. He is the gorilla. Daryl is the gorilla. Well, yeah, that's what's been so funny is that with this sunburn, he got like massively sunburned. He hasn't been burned like that in, probably a decade. I can't even remember the last time he was this miserable, where he's popping Advil and, he's just slathering aloe. And it's hard because, after a day of it, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry that you're suffering, but, it is what it is. I've got a sunburn too. It's not as bad as his, but I definitely have some spots that are pretty bad.
Yeah.
We just drank too much and sat in water too long, and the water reflected off of our bodies and we got really badly burned at the beach house. And so, but for him and, I've read the articles. I know men are more sensitive to pain than women. I get it.
It happens. Yeah.
So I do feel for him. It's a pretty bad burn, but he's not blistering or peeling or anything.
Yeah.
So, after about a day, I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm done with the I've taken Advil, and it's like, look, I don't know. I suggested a milk bath. He thought I was kidding. I'm not kidding.
Or apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, I've heard it works. I made him a little ice pack and all of that stuff. He's like, I don't want to put ice on my skin. I'm like, it's not going on your skin, fool. It's wrapped. Just lay it on your body.
Take a cold shower, or I don't know.
Oh, Paula, water hurts.
I'm not a nurse. I don't know what to do. I would have said, do you want a doctor's appointment? I can do that.
I didn't suggest it yet. I said, look, I can go to the store. They have buckets of options for soothing a sunburn. I'm happy to go and see what they have. They have really good sprays. It's got lidocaine in it.
That's what I sprayed Ryan with when he had a bad one. It was a mixture of lidocaine and aloe. So I just sprayed the shit out of his back because
and it works.
I was tired of hearing from him.
Oh, see? So it starts in the youth age. It never ends. I'm not catering to this any longer. And he had to go to work just like everybody. And Somebody slapped him on the shoulder.
Of course.
Immediately. And so he goes, well, it finally happened. I'm like, what? What happened? He goes, someone slapped me on the shoulder. I'm like, oh, God. Okay. All right. Well, I feel for you. And I know it's painful, but I just carry on, somehow carry on. Please. Okay, so let's talk about Father's Day, because I don't want to talk about sunburns any longer or gorillas. I've had enough. So Father's Day is today. Daryl has been very difficult because I think he kind of doesn't care. And it's kind of weird. I'm like, well, what do you want to do? You want to do anything for Father's Day? He's like, just like, he literally won't even utter a sentence. And I'm thinking, well, you are not my dad. So I can organize. I mean, I'm the mom. I should be able to organize and create whatever you want. You want to do a barbecue? Do you want to go somewhere? And he keeps saying that he wants to go golfing with his dad. I said, great. Well, I can't arrange that, but you should by all means do it. And of course, his dad is going to be out of town for Father's Day, and he won't be back till like Tuesday. And I said, well, look, it's just a day, but you should take a day and go and hang out. So maybe next week they'll go. And that's kind of what he wants to do. And I think that's a wonderful thing. Mm-hmm. So as far as Sunday goes, like today, I'm not really sure what's going on. I assume his kids will at least throw him a text or something.
Or try and stop by, or...
Yeah, they probably will. I just don't, it's kind of one of those weird things that no one's really kind of enthusiastic about this year. Kind of weird. But it might be also because his birthday was 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
And, we did the whole shebang. So that could be it. Everybody's like, did we not just celebrate this man 2 weeks ago? Why are we doing it again?
True.
That's possible. So we'll see. The beach house was kind of like the in-between where it was his birthday gift plus celebrating Father's Day, kind of. We're just not big Hallmark holiday people.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. When they're little and they get to do what Olivia and Ryan do, where they make their gifts at school.
Right.
Those are the best ones anyway.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, and with the gift, I mean, Victor had just said a few weeks before, he's like, if you guys are getting me a gift for like my birthday or Christmas or, whatever the occasion is, he's like, I'd really like a nice pair of slippers, that have a hard bottom and, the slip-in foot and all this stuff. And so...
Does he have those?
He does now. That's what we got him for Father's Day.
Is that what men, when they get older, that's what they...
he wanted him for when he walks around the house, because our dog sheds so much. And if you're walking around barefoot, you just get fur all over your feet. And so if you're not wearing socks, you're wearing a flip-flops or something. Well,
I mean, you can only vacuum and sweep so much before you've had enough. And the dog is old, so it's not like you can kick it out all the time.
No, I can't. And he's old and he gets hot and, he's used to being inside. So he just wants something that a covering. So Victor wanted some sort of slipper or something.
Yes.
That he could wear and not, get covered in something. Or if he goes outside
to empty the garbage in his robe.
His robe with his pipe.
Yes.
Because we also don't have a grass. We have a rock landscape.
Oh, yes. That's right. You have the California drought-friendly yard.
We look like we live in Arizona. So...
Well, it practically is. I mean, there's not a lot of water here.
So there's a lot of pebbles, and those things hurt when you stand on them.
It's like Legos.
Yeah.
Nature's Legos.
Anyways, the slippers were a hit.
And I assume, was he moved by Olivia's prose?
I would have thought he would have been. I think he was in his own way. He's pretty stoic, so
I think most men are.
I mean, not like he was gonna cry or something.
No, although I do. I mean, Malia gave me something for Mother's Day, and I started crying. She made me a picture of Sunny, and it was a glass mosaic that she did of Sunny, and she even grayed out the eyes so he was blind in it. And so when she gave it to me, I'm like, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
That's so cute.
I thought it was very sweet. And so I'm always moved by gifts, though. I'm moved by because what's so funny is like when they get older, your children may not put you through as much hell as mine have, but I doubt it. I'm sure they will.
Probably.
They're just young. But now my cards consist of, for me personally, my cards consist of Thank you for putting up with me. We know we made you suffer. We're so glad that you didn't disown us. Those are the kind of things that are in my cards. Daryl's mom like, you're the best dad ever. Thank you, Dad. You're the best. I'm like, oh. So greatest dad ever. It's like, well, he is a good dad, but still, it's like, I'm the best mom, right? For you people. But no, we don't have that relationship. So I get it.
Oh, anyway. Well.
So did you guys make him breakfast, or what did you guys do anything like that, or go out?
He had to work that day. So when he works, he has to be at work by 6 a.m.
So you just make him a cup of coffee and he jams?
Well, nobody was up with him.
Well, God, no, I wouldn't.
He was a low-key one, and it wasn't even on Father's Day because he had to go out of town. So
right.
That was basically that. So,
well, that's nice.
Yeah.
So now that Olivia she's still in her dad phase, which is very, very common, that girls at Olivia's age are completely enamored with their father and they want nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
He's off doing his training in another state and Olivia is having none of it.
No. So she was really, I think it was her way of trying to cope, but the night before she had his little checklist, and so she was reading off all the things that he had to pack, and she was checking them off as he was packing them. Then she was trying to hide in his duffel bag and all these little things, and then
she really didn't want him to go.
No, and then she asked if she could be his platoon's mascot so she could go.
Aww.
So she went to bed and she said that, she wanted to wake up early so she could say goodbye. So she said goodbye and she's trying to keep a strong face, but you can see her little chin quivering.
Oh, God, that would hurt me.
I know, it's horrible. It's just horrible.
Well, you don't do well when he has to do it either.
Well, I don't do well because I don't like being home with the kids by myself.
Well, it's a lot.
And especially now because it's summertime and they just nag me about what activity are we going to do every day.
Right.
And usually I get to the point where I'm just like, am I your source of entertainment? Is that what this is? Well, should I tap dance? Should I put on a show?
They look at you like, no, we just want a popsicle.
They just look at me like I've lost my mind.
Well, you have. You're the mother. Of course you have.
That's true. So we were outside waving and she was, crying as he was driving off.
He's not going to war though, right? This is just a training?
No, it's just a training in Nevada. It's nothing major, but it's just the length of time and
for a kid, it could be 6 months or 2 weeks. It doesn't necessarily matter.
Right.
It's the separation that is difficult.
Well, and she's in summer school right now, and so he'll be back after she's out of summer school. So that seems like forever.
Yes.
She just really struggles, but she just, she doesn't understand, how his job works. Whereas, with Ryan, he's older, so he knows what it's like to have, Victor be gone.
Yeah.
And, for me, that's just how it's always been. So
it is difficult, and hopefully Olivia will learn early on when it's time to think about it. If you don't like it, don't marry someone in the military.
Exactly.
If you don't have the stamina, don't do it. It does take a special kind of person to be with someone who serves the military. It's very, very difficult. I would not do it, personally. I know myself, and I know I would not do it. But that's just my person. That's me. And of course some people, you never know that you're going to fall in love with someone who's active military. I mean, it happens.
Well, I had no idea what it meant.
Right.
So I
didn't know there were deployments and training or
what all of that, going out of town all the time. And, I just thought the 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. That's what I thought. But that's just not how it works.
Not when there's active duty. It's very different. Yeah. So I definitely feel for those kids and moms who have to say hi over Skype because their dad or their mom is, in a foreign country or, stationed somewhere super far away where they only get to see them every 6 months or something. I mean, there's all kinds of sacrifices that parents have to make, and it freaking sucks. But happy Father's Day to everybody who serves and to those mamas or other dads or other moms who have to make those sacrifices at home. It's very tough. Okay, so does Victor do the bad dad jokes? Is he one of those kinds of guys who the second he became a dad, he got cheesy? Daryl did.
Sometimes he does, but it just depends. Usually he's telling them to me and the kids are just laughing. So
yeah, well, it's the same thing. There is something genetic in a man when they become a father. There's a little switch that flips and suddenly they become the worst comedian on the planet and they have the worst jokes and they just have them locked and loaded at all times. It's almost like the switch flips and then some kind of data downloads and they have this little corner of their brain that becomes the bad dad jokes. And Daryl is absolutely one of those people.
Victor still thinks he's cool, so
maybe
I don't know.
I
think he just thinks that he's current, and he just doesn't realize how not valid he is right now.
Maybe that's where that comes from, is that they think, like I have created people, I rule, I am the coolest person ever.
He thinks because he's in the army and he hangs out with young people all the time, because there's obviously like 18 and 20-year-olds in there, and
constantly
he'll listen to them, so he thinks that somehow that keeps him
young and hip,
brushed up on what's the what or something. So
okay, so is he into the new Drake and the new
Ryan is
Cardi B and all that? Yes, well, Ryan is also the appropriate age.
I know he's 12.
Victor is not.
Definitely not.
Okay, so I was thinking about it. The thing is it's more of a persona. It's not necessarily like, I can't think of any jokes that Daryl has told the children. It's just that whenever something comes up, it's like when he's making pancakes for the kids, he'll spout off all these terrible, terrible puns or jokes. And I'm like, what happened? You weren't like this when I met you.
I know, right?
What happened to you? I'm like, when I met you, I wouldn't let you meet my mother because you had such a filthy mouth. Now you're spouting off jokes about Peter Pan and Moana. Like, what happened? Right. It's so funny. But anyway, do you have any dad jokes? Did you find some dad jokes?
I found a few.
Me too. Go ahead. Give me a couple.
Okay, so this one was probably one of my favorites.
Okay.
I bought some shoes from a drug dealer. I didn't know what he laced them with, but I was tripping all day.
That's a good one. I have one. How do you wake up Lady Gaga? Poker face.
Poker face. Okay. When a dad drives past a graveyard, he says, "Did you know that's a popular cemetery? Yeah, people are just dying to get in there."
Stupid.
Total dad joke.
Total dad joke. How about this one? Why do melons have weddings?
Why?
Because they can't elope.
Okay.
I thought that was my favorite.
This would be like father-son joke.
Okay. What
do you call a masturbating cow? Beef stroganoff.
Oh my God. Groan. What's the difference between a hippo and a Zippo?
Oh no.
One is really heavy and the other is a little lighter.
I remember that one.
That was so funny. I was like, oh my God. And here's the other thing, Paula. You are a huge fan of the puns.
I love puns.
You are the punniest of the puns.
I am.
And so I'm like, oh God, Paula's got a little dad joke in her, because that's all. This is all her humor. She loves it.
Okay. What do you call someone with no body and no nose?
Not Bob.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. That's a good one. Okay, here's my last one. What do you call a sleepwalking nun?
I don't know.
A Roman Catholic. Dumb.
Yours were good. Okay, so this is my last one.
Okay.
Want to hear a joke about construction?
Yes.
I'm still working on it.
Wah, wah, wah.
If we have dads listening, they're probably writing these down, though.
They're like, oh, I got to tell that. Yeah, these are great. That's true. And they're funny, though. So to the Philadelphians of the world, we see you, and your children are entertained.
I wonder if producer Dub's going to try and use any of these.
Probably. He probably goes, oh, I know those.
The hippo one was funny. One's heavy and one's a little lighter.
A little lighter. Yeah, that's a good one. I should have closed with that one for sure.
That one was funny.
That's funny. Okay, so with all of that awkward joking to put away, let's go into our ugly and awkward moments of the week.
We are a podcast and people listen to us. Mm-hmm. We also listen to other podcasts. So it's not like, we just only exclusively listen to ourselves.
Right.
One of the podcasts that I was listening to, when they posted that they had their most current episode out, they posted the title, the explanation, and then a little picture. The title was Rats Parade, and the picture was a parade of the Washington Capitals.
Oh, their parade when they won the Stanley Cup.
When they did their parade. And so one of my friends on Facebook pointed out that's kind of fun. Like, that's probably not the best title for the picture.
Agreed.
At first I said, why? Who's that?
Oh, because you're not a hockey thing person.
No. And then so I'm like, it's the Washington Capitals. Never mind. I got it. And then I went to say, I'm not the smartest tool in the shed.
What?
And then all the while, my friend, he just keeps posting emojis. Like, he's not...
You're a fool.
Helping me out, but they're laughing and their hearts and they're all these
You're like,
things.
What's happening? He's like, oh, you're adorable.
And then finally I'm like... Oh, wait, I'm like, it's not the sharpest tool in the shed, right?
Oh, yes.
And so this is in front of like a whole chat room of people, though.
God, I'm glad you didn't get raked over the coals for that. I'm kind of surprised.
I was kind of surprised, too, because most people, they jump at the opportunity to call someone an idiot in that group.
They do. Oh, my gosh. Well, that's
And then
awkward.
you saw it and you're like, oh, my.
I'm like, oh, dear. It's like, oh, God, I can't take you anywhere.
Anyways, that was my ugly and awkward moment of, I'm so bad at those sayings where it's just like, well, she's not the roundest marble in the bunch or whatever that one is, or...
I don't know the marble one, but I know what you're saying. I don't know those either. Oh, the shiniest marble in the bunch?
Or the brightest bulb in the bunch.
Bulb.
And then
the sharpest stick in this pile. I don't know what they are.
And then I don't know what it is about the marble. The roundest marble.
Paula, I honestly, you're asking the wrong person. I'm just as bad as you. In fact, here's how bad it was. I saw what you said and I went, oh, well, we all have our moments. And then later you go, no, it's the sharpest tool in the shed. I'm like, oh yeah, it isn't the smartest tool in the shed, is it? I mean, so I didn't say anything because I was equally as awkward about it because I thought you said it right.
Well,
so
what was the worst part about it is I was trying to highlight that I'm not smart all the time. But I was using an example and I was saying it incorrect. So it was just like I was just highlighting my dumbness.
You remind me of Chrissy Snow from Three's Company.
Sometimes.
Okay, so this is awkward because it wasn't anything I did per se, but it was just an awkward moment. And it was hilarious, but it was also very weird. So I said that I had a tooth cleaning, and what I basically had happened is I did an initial and then I went back for a deep cleaning, which everybody has to get done at some point in their life. And they do one half at a time because they have to numb you, and it takes a really long time because they're literally planing down by the root. And so it sounds painful, but it's very good. And everybody should, I think everybody gets it done at least. I've had it done once before and it had been a while, so they wanted to do another one. So I'm getting that half done and she's literally doing it. And there's another hygienist next to her doing other people. And it was an older gal. And the hygienist said, you know what? I'll be right back. I need to go grab whatever. So it's a quiet she's almost done, and so she's kind of just like cleaning up a little bit. So we're just, I'm just sitting there peacefully waiting to be finished. And all of a sudden this woman, and she was probably in her 70s, she ripped the biggest fart ever. Ever. And it's on those plastic dental chairs. So it was like, it was quite audible. And the hygienist and I both locked eyes. We just looked at each other. And then she slowly looked over at the old lady who was staring at us.
Oh my God.
She was staring at us. And I was like, this is a woman who had a boy haircut, but it was like a bowl haircut. And she was fully gray with spectacles. And she was just looking at us in her pink shirt. And then she slowly looked back down and stared at me, the hygienist did. And then she just started to continued to polish. And I was like, I don't even know what that was. And the thing is we didn't even laugh because it was so creepy.
Oh my God.
It was the most awkward moment I have had that it wasn't me that I've had in a long time.
That's weird.
I know. And it's like, farts are funny. Like we should have laughed, but because she was just staring at us, I was like, I don't know what this is.
She like frightened you into like silence.
Yes, both of us.
That's probably what Mom would have done if it had been her.
Mom would have been absolutely incensed.
She would have just
outraged.
She would have never done that, but I'm just saying
that is highly inappropriate.
She would have clenched those cheeks so tight.
I would have run to the bathroom. I would have excused myself and run.
What are you going to do in there? It's already happened.
Not stare at people. I would have turned and looked at my phone or something. I would have done something else. God. And luckily we had we had gear on, you have the little mask, the little eye mask and stuff like that. And so there was no odor. Because they also keep that place at like 65 degrees. So there was nothing, there was no odor, but still. God, it was really weird and really awkward. And I mean, you can't laugh when you've got a sharp tool in your mouth. There's nothing you can do.
I probably would have been, oh my God.
Yeah, that's true. I could have done that. But instead, we just locked eyes like a horror movie.
Like, what the hell?
What's happening in this place? Anyway.
Oh my God, that was funny.
I know. Really, really funny. Anyway. Well, that was it.
I think it was a tie this week.
I agree.
Okay, well, I think that's a wrap for this week. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. And thank you for shopping Avon. We appreciate the orders.
Lipandclip.com, baby.
And then also, thank you for shopping Amazon. And if you decided that you didn't buy Dad something, but you still want to, you can definitely go do that at our Amazon site. Also, it's summertime, so plenty of opportunity to go buy beach towels, sunscreen, bathing suits, sunglasses, all sorts of things that you need for the summertime. So definitely check out Amazon via our link. So other than that, have a fabulous Sunday and the rest of your week, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.